Ozzy Osbourne has had a long career with both Black Sabbath and his solo career, but he has released a few songs over the years that have not been some of my favorites. So in this video, I will be talking about my least favorite Ozzy Osbourne songs from his solo career. This was another request that was made by a channel member named Bronson. So if you're interested in becoming a channel member, you can receive perks such as video topic requests as well as early access to videos. You can find the link to the membership page in the video description. Now, back to Ozzy Osbourne. I'm going to be picking the songs that were released in chronological order. I was going to do album by album, but I had a hard time picking songs I didn't like in the first 5 or 6 albums, with one exception, which I'll get to in a few seconds. I'm going to pick about 10 songs, more or less, that I don't like. Most of them will be from his later period, so let's get into this. The first song I'm going to pick is the one I hinted at before, and this is the only song from one of his albums from the 80s and early 90s. It's the song So Tired from Bark at the Moon. I think the song is very over the top. There's all this orchestration. Sounds like one of those power ballads that hair metal bands of the late 80s would be doing. There are a few things I like about the song, such as the bass guitar playing that sounds very good, and the guitar solo by Jakey Lee sounds very good, but otherwise, it's always been a song I never really liked too much. Next song I have is from 1995. The album is Osmosis, and I chose the song Old LA Tonight. This one sounds like another one of his ballads that has a lot of orchestration. It's just a soft piano ballad that was kind of forgettable for me. I usually like his ballads, but this one seems to be very over the top, and the production sounds very processed. Song is slow. I can't really get into the melody. I usually like his ballads, but for some reason I never really liked the song that much, even though I think the album Osmosis is a pretty good album. The next song I picked is from the album Down to Earth. The song I picked is Running Out of Time. This is the second ballad on the album. The first is Dreamer, which was a big single from the album, and I actually like that song. I think it's a very catchy song, but this song, Running Out of Time, might be kind of a filler track. It's another one that's not very memorable. It just sounds like things I've heard before, although there are some aspects of the song that I like. For example, there are some interesting guitar tones in the song, but otherwise the song doesn't really do much for me. They used some weird voice samples at the end. I thought that sounded very 90s. It's kind of like what 90s bands used to do. The next song I picked is going to be from the album Black Rain, and I know I've been picking a lot of the ballads from these albums, but I'm going to pick a ballad again, and that's the song Here For You, only because it sounds like he's just trying to make a song that's radio friendly. He's using the same types of orchestration and song structure that he has used for other albums. You could tell he's trying to go for another hit like he had with the song Dreamer. And I think at this point in his career, it's a type of song with piano and orchestration that's been done a lot. So that's why I'm picking this as one of my least favorites. But otherwise, I think the album Black Rain is not too bad. It has some pretty good stuff on it. The next song I picked is from his 2010 album Scream. That is track number 4, called Life Won't Wait. I picked this one because it sounds like something a typical grunge band would have done in the 90s. It has acoustic guitars in the verse section and heavier distorted guitars in the chorus. It sounded like one of those alternative rock songs that came out 10 or 11 years too late. I felt the song was very representative of the late 90s. It just had that type of sound. He tries to save it with some elements of his typical heavy metal sound, but this was one of those songs that I think is not one of his best. I'm going to pick one more song from the 2010 album Scream, and that's the last track, called Jump the Moon. It's a 3-minute song. It probably could have been a good song. I thought the vocals were very processed, and the guitar riffs sounded like they used a lot of electronics on it. Otherwise, I thought it was just a forgettable song. It's not that bad. It's kind of a heavy song, but I thought it was one of the filler tracks on this particular album that is kind of a long album to begin with. Now I'm going to the album Ordinary Man, and I'm going to pick 2 songs. You probably know which ones I'm going to pick. The first one is It's a Raid with Post Malone, or the first of 2 songs with Post Malone. This one seems like he's going for a heavier sound, but the pop elements on the song don't really work well, and I think the isolated vocals that come in and out between the guitar riffs don't help the song too much, so this was one of the songs I didn't like that much. The next song I picked is Take What You Want, which is actually a Post Malone song featuring Ozzy Osbourne. It was included on the Ordinary Man album. It's just one of those songs that sounds like Ozzy Osbourne doing modern pop music. And I think those two things don't really go well together. I think Ozzy should just do what he's good at, and that's classic heavy metal. So this was kind of an obvious choice, but I decided to pick it anyway. I'll pick one more song. That's the last song from Patient Number 9, called Dark Side Blues. This one sounds like he's going for a Led Zeppelin type of sound, but the vocals are very processed, and it just sounds like one of those transitional songs that should go into something else. But it's actually the last song on the album. It's less than 2 minutes long, and I thought it was just a complete filler track. So that is all. These were my least favorite Ozzy Osbourne songs. Let me know in the comment section, what are your least favorite Ozzy Osbourne songs? This was also a member request, so if you like, you can join my channel membership and get different perks, such as making video requests. In the meantime, check out this video right here of Ozzy Osbourne in the movies. That was also a member request. You can watch that one next if you haven't seen it yet. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Please give this video a like. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe if you have not already. I do rock and metal reviews, and I do ranking videos. I do classic album reviews. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.